What's up, guys? Welcome back to Inside Out Precision. Today we are reviewing the PSE Xpedite NXT. It's funny because a lot of guys have been messaging me about like, when are you going to do an Xpedite review? And I didn't even think we had one on order. We ordered this in October and it just finally got here, so I completely forgot. But thank you, Corey, for getting me a lefty. Definitely appreciate that. So this is left-handed. I shot this a bunch yesterday and I really like it. That's a very broad statement. Before we get into the video, we do have hats available. So there's a link in the description to this. There's a black and a gray one. So I just want to keep mentioning that because a lot of people DM me on Instagram for the link to buy the hat, because that's how we sold the first run of them. But the link now is in the description. You'll see a link for the black and the gray. It takes you straight to PayPal. If you do not see the link for any given color, that means we are out of that color. But we got 100 of them, so we should be in stock. I think we've only sold like 25 of them so far, so we got plenty of them left. So hit that up if you're looking for some merch, and yeah, get you a hat coming. So again, today we're reviewing the PSE Xpedite NXT. So this is their speed bow. This bow, like jumping into the technical side of things, so this bow IBOs at 360 feet a second, which is insane. It's 33 inches axle to axle. It has a 5.5 inch brace height. Now, for a bow that's 360 feet a second, usually that brace height is down around like 5. So it's actually got a little more forgiving brace height than I would expect for a bow that fast. But it is, you know, still a shorter brace height for sure. Got a lot more reflex in the riser than like the Evo NXTs or the new EVLs. It goes from, sorry, I gotta look at my cheat sheet here. It goes from 24.5 all the way out to 30 inches. So if you're longer than 30, you're not gonna be able to shoot this bow, unfortunately. But it goes down to 24.5, and I think that's important because I think where this bow is really gonna shine is for people with a shorter draw length, or people that only want to shoot 55 or 60 pounds but still want a lot of speed out of the bow. So you got a really big draw length range here. I mean, most people, you know, even like a 5'2" like woman or guy, you know, kid could shoot this bow at 24.5 inches. And that's important because a lot of guys or gals that don't have a long draw length or can't pull a lot of weight, you know, a bow that'll shoot a lot of performance for them is a good thing. So comes in right at like 4.2 pounds, so pretty much right on par, you know, with most other bows on the market in that range. It has a lot of the same features as the Evo NXT and a lot of the other PSE models here. Sorry, I gotta focus in. So it still has the Evolve cam system, the rotating module. Now this model particularly, because I need to check with the PSE rep, this does not have the hard yoke system like the new EVLs. It still has the floating yoke. So when you're tuning this, it is gonna be with the shim kit. Now I haven't shot this particular bow through paper yet. Usually with most of them, you get a tail right or a tail left tear, you know, maybe an inch or so. You need to use that shim kit to alleviate that. Can be a little bit of a time consuming thing. I wouldn't say it's hard, it just takes a little bit of time to do. But once you get them shooting, they are awesome. Still has the wedge lock limb pocket, you know, all machined aluminum here. Really solid limb pocket, so I really like that. Again, comes with, just like all the other bows, you got the rubberized grip here. I can pull that off and then it's just the straight riser. So if you like a narrower, kind of more defined grip, you can totally run that. In terms of, you know, features, obviously you still have the roller guard like all their flagship bows. I have a lower and upper stabilizer mount here. I like running it lower because it keeps that center of gravity really low, as well as a back bar mount on the back here. So lots of options there. Also, where the sight mounts here, there's multiple different mounting holes for the sight. So if, you know, you can run your sight a little higher or lower if you're running out of adjustment on your sight. So that's a pretty cool feature as well. I really like that they do that, where they just give you options for things. I mean, if you don't need them, you don't need them, but it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. You may notice, so the limb angle on this is definitely not as laid back as the other models, and that's where that extra speed comes from. Well, I shouldn't say that's the only thing it comes from, but that aids in that extra speed. There is a little more reflex to the riser. I'm gonna shoot it here in a second and kind of show you what it sounds like, but really good feeling bow actually for a speed bow. Now it does draw significantly stiffer than like the Evo NXT or the new EVLs, but that's because of the brace height here and the riser design basically. And you know, that speed doesn't come for free, so that's why it's gonna draw a little bit stiffer. It's gonna stay at that peak weight longer, which enables it to, you know, obviously propel the arrow faster. Still has the adjustable let off, so 80 to 90%. I liked, right now it's at 90%. Most people are probably gonna shoot it at 85 to 90. When I do the speed test, I'm gonna put it at 85 just so it's right in the middle. But I actually have the EVL 34 on order. I know, I'm switching from the Matthews. I'm gonna give the PSE a shot. I really believe in that bow. I think it's an awesome platform. I'm gonna run that at 80%. For me, I like that little bit of extra holding weight. With a bow like this, it's got a little more, you know, a little shorter valley, a little more go. You might wanna run, you know, 85 or 90, just depending on your shooting style. But what's cool is you don't need a different module. You can just play with that, this little peg right here. See if I can zoom in on that. This little piece right here. If I slide it all the way out, it's 80%, right in the middle is 85, and then pushed in all the way like it is right now is at 90%. So my first impressions of this bow when I was shooting it was it definitely draws a little bit stiffer. You feel it for sure. But like I said, because of the speed it gets, you know, I could shoot this at 60 pounds and probably get the same speeds as I would out of a lot of other bows at 70 or 75 pounds. We'll see here when I shoot in a minute through the chronograph, but definitely a sweet platform. Like I said, I've got a lot of requests on this bow, so I'm really glad that I got this in and I'm gonna have a chance to shoot it for you. So I've actually got some arrows right here. It does actually hold like surprisingly well for a bow with a lot of reflex. Generally speaking, bows with more reflex are a little more sensitive to torque. For me, they hunt a little bit more on target. They don't just like to settle down, but this bow actually held really, really well. So sling this a little bit. Hitting low, but lighting in here sucks right now. So really solid back wall, which is nice. That Evolve cam system, I mean, I think personally it's one of the better cam systems on the market in terms of, you know, adjustability, tunability, performance, all that. It just feels really solid. It's not as solid as like a limb stop, but I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of a limb stop. Like I really like the primes, but they're almost too solid in the back wall, if that makes sense, because I shoot with quite a bit of back tension. And if there's absolutely zero give, I basically just pull my front arm around a little bit. I want just that tiniest little bit of forgiveness in that back wall. And this, you know, it's solid, it's not spongy, but it doesn't feel like a limb stop. Yeah, you can see that little hiccup there. It's just right at the back end, it stacks pretty good. Oh, I should have done this before I went to the gym. But it's quiet. There's not a lot of vibration in the handle. I mean, a little bit, but it's not, I mean, it doesn't like thump you at all. There's just, it's actually, I mean, for a speed bow, it's really smooth. You can see there's not a lot of like violence in it afterwards. I mean, it just shoots good. Do one more here. And there's no string dampeners or anything on this. This is literally just like out of the box. Yeah, I mean that's like, it's like a 2-inch group with not even tuning the thing and mismatched arrows. So those are kind of my impressions on the bow. Like I said, not a lot of hand shock for a speed bow, hardly any actually. Definitely draws stiffer. That's just the nature of the beast. Anytime you get a bow, it's gonna shoot 360 feet a second. So don't be surprised by that. I'm gonna do our usual speed test. I got 4 different arrows. We're gonna do it at 30 inches, which is what it's at now, 70 pounds. And then I think I'm actually gonna do, because I know there's gonna be a lot of shorter draw guys asking, I'm gonna do it at 26 for the second speed instead of 28. So I'm gonna get this chronograph set up. I've actually made sure it's charged. Which by the way, if you watch the EVL review, I did re-chronograph that with a charged chronograph, and everything jumped by like 12 to 14 feet a second. So watch that video again, add 12 to 14 feet on every speed, and that's what it shot. So chronograph was definitely screwed up, but today it is fully charged and we're gonna get a good reading. So I'm gonna get that set up and we'll run some arrows through the chrono. All right, so I got the chrono set up here. This first arrow is FMJ 300. This is a 511 grain arrow. So again, this is 30 inches, 70 pounds. We'll see what this does. $295 with a 511 grain arrow. Okay, next arrow is 485. That is terrifying. So this one's 485. .303. I've never shot a bow that fast. Never. I've never seen a speed like that. That is nuts. So this arrow is 440. So 511, 303. That's a 485 grain arrow going 303 feet a second. That's nuts. This is a 440 grain arrow. I'm almost scared. I'm gonna hit the wall. .317. What? Okay, and then this is the little speed demon. This is a 366 grain arrow. This one might end up in the parking lot. This is gonna be insane. .346. So 295 with a 511 grain arrow. That is batty. And then 303 with a 485 at 70 pounds. I mean, those are insane speeds. I mean, I knew it was gonna be fast. I honestly was not expecting that. And then, yeah, 344 with a 360 grain arrow. I mean, I don't know if it quite hit 360 with a 350 grain arrow, but like, those are insane speeds. Like I said, I've never shot a bow that fast. So I'm gonna put this at 26 inches for you short draw guys and see what it does at those speeds. So let me get these modules set and we'll do that same speed test. All right, so got it at 26 now. Again, 511 grain arrow, 26 inches, 70 pounds. T-Rex it. Oh, draws a little easier right there. 243 at 26 inches with a 511 grain arrow. Like, I know 243 doesn't sound fast, but for those specs, that's insane. And I think you heard, I mean, that arrow literally just went through that bag target and hit the wall. So this is the 485 grain arrow. Oh, that's so weird. 255, 440 grain arrow. This would be like a pretty common weight. 263, and now the 370 grain arrow, the burner. .292. So at 26 inch, with a 26 inch draw and 370 grain arrow, you're low 290s. Like, that's insane. if you guys aren't familiar with bow speeds, like if you're kind of new to this, like those speeds are incredible. Especially that first one, a 511 grain arrow at 295 feet a second at 70 pounds. I mean, you'll see that out of like a 31-inch draw with 80 pounds on some bows, but I mean, I'm incredibly impressed with that, with those speeds. Like I said, I'm stoked to get my hands on that EVL 34. I might even have a 32 coming too. I don't know, I might have to play around. I mean, you can always have more bows, right? So definitely go check this out. Like I said, I think where this bow is really gonna shine, I mean, obviously, if you wanna shoot 70 pounds and whatever 30-inch draw length, it's gonna shoot great speeds. But I think where this bow is really gonna shine is for you shorter draw guys. So if you're 28 inches and below, you're gonna get awesome speed out of this. That draw is not gonna be, the shorter that draw length is, the less stiff that draw cycle tends to seem. And you're still gonna get a ton of performance out of it. So I would highly recommend going down to your PSE dealer and trying to get your hands on one of these. You got to bear with PSE a little bit right now. They're kind of under some restructuring. I know, you know, people are getting frustrated that it's taking a long time to get bows, but that's just the world we live in right now. I mean, we haven't even got our preview order of Hoyt yet. Matthews is like the only thing we've actually been able to keep in stock. So everything is slow right now. So be patient. These bows, I think, are worth the wait. I'm really excited to shoot mine, and I think you'll be really excited to shoot one as well. I kind of want to end on a note saying, like, obviously, I haven't reviewed a bow yet that I like truly hate. I don't want to just say these bows are good because that's what we sell. But we sell all the major brands, and honestly, I mean, well, I shouldn't say all the major brands. We sell Hoyt, PSE, Prime, Mission, and Matthews. And honestly, any of the big brands these days are going to make a great shooting bow. All the bows are fast. Some are just faster than others. It's really going to come down to comfort. So don't pick a bow just because you like the way it looks or the way, you know, you've heard your buddy likes it or whatever. Like, go and shoot these bows and see which one really fits you best. I've made this analogy before and I stick to it, that bows are kind of like a pair of hiking boots. You can have the best quality boot in the world. You know, you can spend $500 on a pair of boots, but if they don't fit you right, you're gonna hate them because they're gonna be uncomfortable and you're gonna get blisters and you're not gonna use them anymore. The same goes for bows. You know, you can spend $1,700 on a bow. That doesn't mean you're gonna shoot it any better than a $700 bow if it's uncomfortable to you. There's nothing inherently more accurate about an $1,800 bow than a $1,000 bow. It's all gonna come down to the shooter. So go shoot these things, see which one you like, and make a decision based on what fits you best. Don't just go off my opinion. I try to do this unbiased, just by the numbers. But I think PSE is probably building the best bows they ever have right now, and I'm excited to see kind of what the future holds for that. So thanks for watching today, guys. I know this was a little bit of a lengthy one. We really appreciate all the support. Remember to go get your hat. We've got more merch coming soon. I got to be kind of hush-hush about it right now, but there will be details coming. So thanks for watching again. Remember, precision is a decision. Keep them in the middle, and I'll see you guys on the range.